Hi folks, welcome back to Visits with SoxyNana Alice. I'm Alice, your yarn host, and I'd love you to join me down here around the craft table while we talk about some knitting and knitting. I don't think I have anything else for you today, just all knitting. Okay, so where all the places you can find me on the internet will be listed below in the description box, so you can click on any of those links. You can friend me over on Ravelry, where we are having Diane from My Pink Bathtub and I are having a Sox-a-long 2025 for the whole year. So you are welcome to double dip your little heart out into all the different make-alongs and knit-alongs that are happening all year and include them in our Sox-a-long for prizes each month. Okay, so I have lots to share with you today. I've gotten a lot of things to update. I only had the FOs from the last episode when I was with Diane when we showed off our socks. I think I don't have the socks down here. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah. So here are the socks that I have for finished objects. I have a vanilla pair, and I have a lace weight or a textured pattern, the Fairground Socks by Kay Jones from the Bakery Bears. And yeah, those are on the Ravelry pages. So anyways, I'm going to put those back here for safekeeping. How is everybody today? We have had minus 37 with the wind chill factor, and we are in a deep freeze here in Canada right now. And yeah, Chewy and I are actually not going for our walks this week. Yeah, I got a set of clippers for him, and I'm going to be trimming up the pads of his feet. And yeah, I don't think he's going to enjoy going walking in this cold weather. He can't stand the freezing cold on his feet. Anywho, again, I would like to thank everyone for coming. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Just a quick little intro here. I started this YouTube channel about 4 years ago during lockdown to teach my grandchildren how to knit, crochet, and hand sew while we were apart and we couldn't be together. And it has just evolved from there. I have a few tutorials, so not the greatest tutorials, but I have a few in my playlists. You can go ahead and help yourself and check those out. I find the most famous of all my videos is the one where I make a homemade swift out of coat hangers, and yeah, I have upgraded to an Amish swift thanks to one of my lovely viewers who decided to send one to me for just because she really liked me, I guess. So anyways, yeah, I always have tea and coffee on down here in the craft room. Today I have some caramel latte. So this is scrumptious and warm and perfect for such a freezing cold day. And I think that's why us Canadians, or Winnipeggers anyways, get a lot of knitting and crafting done, because when it gets cold, we're not in the mood to go anywhere. Okay, so first off, I was going to talk about the make-along, but you know what? I'm going to leave that to the end in case guys aren't interested. Not everyone are sock knitters, but I do have socks. I have one half-finished object. I have the sock for February, and this is just a vanilla pattern I'm making. I'll put a quick little picture up here of the pattern I was doing. When we picked the wool and the construction method for the socks for February, I do a pattern from a book. Well, I tried that with this wool, because this is the wool I picked. This is Arcane Fiber Works out of Alberta in the Dreamweaver color. I tried to do that pattern, but it really didn't look nice. So I pulled it back, and I was having trouble doing it anyways. You'll see. I didn't bring my book. Oh, I did bring my book down. I was doing the pattern repeats in it, and I was always screwing up. So I opted to pull it all out and do a vanilla sock with just a wedge toe, a shadow wrap heel that I follow along with Alex from My Yarny Corner, or there is also one that I got from the shadow wrap heel by Earth Tones Girl. And yeah, I have, that's out on the internet there. I'll put the links below. I did a 1x1 full twisted rib pattern for the cuff, 64 stitch on a 2.5 millimeter Chow red lace in the round. And this time I decided to do a full twisted rib, which is twisted rib, it's a twisted purl and a twisted knit stitch. So it came out really pretty and very tight. I did a contrast color to do the cast on, so I have a darker purple just for the top. I just thought that looked kind of cute. I noticed Kayla from the Crazy Sock Lady does that as well. But I did do a purl row because I like to do a purl row just for interest, and so it makes it easier to count the rows going down the foot. And I put the stitch markers every 10 rows so that I can match it up with the second sock. I have started the second sock, and I have got the ribbed cuff going here. I've already done the purl row, and now I will start on the stockinette stitch, and for every 10 rows I will move the stitch marker from this sock to this sock, so it makes it exactly the same. It's not hard to count rows with this wool anyways. Just wanted to quickly show you too for my socks. And I mean, this is a good tip for anyone who's doing socks. For if you do a lot of socks for one person, trace their foot out, put it on a piece of cardboard and cover it with packing tape. But I also have my vanilla pattern here written on one side of the foot so that I have it with me all the time when I'm measuring. I put at the top of I put a line where the top of my baby toe is, so that's where I start my decreases for a wedge toe. And I also have a line here where my heel bone hits on my down directly under on my foot, so that I know if I'm doing toe up socks, that's where I start my heel if I'm doing a toe up sock. And it also has how many centimeters long my foot is, how wide the ball of my foot is, the widest part here. And yeah, I keep that with me. I cover it all with packing tape, and I can slide that inside of my sock as I'm making it on the foot so that I can measure as I go along. And I do that for quite a few people. If I'm doing a lot of socks for them, I will measure out their foot, trace out their foot on a piece of paper, transfer it to a cardboard, and then I can keep it. It goes in the bag with my socks. So yeah, I'm just gonna move that. So yeah, I'll put that back in my bag. This is in my dragon fiber bags from here in Winnipeg, the lovely Rebecca. And this is my labyrinth bag because it's one of my favorite. It is my go-to movie when I'm not feeling well. It's my labyrinth bag. Okay, so that's the socks I'm working on for my for the February FO thread for the Sox-a-long 2025. And what else have I got? Now the rest is all, of course, whips because I don't have any other finished objects. I'm still working through things for the Sox-a-long and my sweaters. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. Still have to, excuse me, still have to put the thread on Ravelry, excuse me, for these free Advent socks called the Christmas Chaos Socks by Stitches and Chill, lovely Barbara. And this is the pattern that I'm doing to make a pair of socks for myself for Christmas, all in color work. She gives you these lovely motifs that you can work with, all different kinds, so you can totally personalize these socks to however you like. I love the pattern colors that she's got on her Ravelry page, so I actually ended up matching them up. So far for January and February now, I've gotten the 2 started, and I've got the first set of motifs. And this is in color work. This is the main colors, the 2 colors, the coffee color or cinnamon color, and the off-white are in Cascade Heritage. Sock yarn, it's beautiful, soft. And the minis, the yellow, the green, and the pink, dark pink are in minis that I got from Mandy over at Mandy Von Knits. Thank you very much, Mandy. I won her Potterversary, I believe. There we go. So yeah, I got those both started. I'm working them concurrently. I picked up, one is a red lace interchangeable, and and I picked up another set that's a fixed circular, which I'm really going to have to buckle down and get some more of for making socks. So yeah, so this is the yarn. I have lots of it. Show you the ball band. This is Cascade Heritage sock. It is 100 grams. It is a, is it an 80-20? 75-25 woolen nylon. Beautiful, soft yarn. Crazy soft. I hope it doesn't pill too much. And here I'll show you the minis that I'm using. For the colors to separate. And yeah, it's a beautiful pattern. I'll put a quick picture up here if you haven't seen it before. And I do use a button when I'm doing two colors at a time. I put the button on, put the thread through the button, and then it holds the threads separate. Sometimes I use a bead too. Oh, that latte is so good. Caramel latte. Okay, so now I've gotten that far. So I've got up to February, and now in March, I will do the next section. So by the time Christmas rolls around, I'll have a complete set of socks. Set of Advent socks. Now, where is, and as well as to go with the Sox-a-long, I'm also doing a stocking. And Diane and I, for My Pink Bathtub, and I have decided we will do a stocking thread on the Ravelry site as well for Christmas stockings. This is Halloween stocking, but I picked it because it's going to have it's the whole color work. It's all wildlife. One side has got, I think it's a wolf, and the other side has, or fox, and the other side has got a bear. And this here, right here, is going to turn out to be a raven. And this is the tree. And you see the tree limbs coming out with the leaves, both sides. It's all 100% color work. There's two big charts for it. That's the tree. And I have to do so many rows a month, and then at the end I'll have the complete. At the end of the year, I'll have a complete sock. I think I'll probably get it done before Christmas, well before Christmas, because it is a lovely, enjoyable pattern. This pattern is by Mona from Bunnymuff Designs. And you know I've done a ton of her mitts. I did a make-along for a cowl for her in the fall, with her in the fall. Beautiful. The difference, I did do a different top because I just wanted to make it I just wanted to do something different. I did a 1x1 corrugated rib and a Latvian braid along the top, and I just love it. This is going to be for Walter for Christmas. This I am using, the wool is a lady from our Norwood Knotting Knitters knitting group. She comes in once a month and she brings in this lovely, beautiful 100% wool that her mother got from the Tundra Company. And in the 80s and 90s, it did shut down, I believe, in the 80s. And she puts it all into these little 50-gram balls, and she brings it in for our club members. So we purchased that from her, and then, it just makes some really beautiful, beautiful color work. It's not very rustic. I made the H sweater by Beatrice Mase in it, and it is so soft. Once it all plumps up when it's washed, it's just gorgeous. Okay, now what else have I got happening here? Along the lines of socks, I started, I think if you remember rightly, my last actual podcast, I wanted to start the reverse socks? No, slippers. It's called the Reverse Star Edition. I don't know if you can see the picture there. They look like Converse runners. They are so cool. I have made quite a few pairs of these for my grandkids and what have you, and family members. And yeah, I started a pair in red. My son-in-law wanted a pair in red, so I started him a new pair. He just wears them to death. So this is very rustic. This is the 80-20, I believe, Tuffy's wool by Briggs & Little here in Canada, in New Brunswick. And yeah, this is all made in parts, so to speak, and picked up here and there. And it is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give too much away. But when you're done, it's going to have a sole of the foot, which I've got doing in this cocoa color. It's kind of a brown, and it's going to go on the bottom, and then there'll be white and black trim all the way around. So it'll look like a Converse runner or trainer when it's all done. It'll even have that a little round emblem here with a black star on it that'll turn out, it'll look really cool. I'll show you when I'm done. So I've got these two done already. So it did quite a lot of progress. Mind you, this is a worsted weight, almost an Aran weight wool, so it does go fairly quickly. And I am using for the body of the actual slippers, it's a 3.25 millimeter or a US 3. And then for the bottoms, it's I think it's a 3.5. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, a 3.5 needle for the soles of the foot. So yeah, I'm working away, plugging away on those, getting those done. Those are fun, like a lot of fun to knit. I really, really do enjoy those. Okay, I have put that in the basket. I got so much stuff around me here, it's crazy. I'm still working on and plugging through doing my Shima sweater. Beautiful sweater by Beatrice Mase, and hers lovely. She's doing a make-along called the Shima Make-Along. I also have a pattern for the Shima socks. Is it down here? Yep. I have a pattern for the Shima socks. I actually want to get those started as well. I probably won't get those started in time for the make-along, but I am plugging through and plugging along with the Shima sweater. This is the second time I've knit it, you guys. This is with merino sock in a kind of a graphite gray color. And the other is Arcane Fiberworks Geology Rocks. And that's this one. It's this color. I have another ball upstairs. And then I have 2 balls of the gray. So last time I spoke to you and showed you this, I wasn't split for sleeves. I was way up here still. Way up here. I've gotten at least 6 inches done. Oh, what have I done here? You always, I'm not the only podcaster that does this. You hold your stuff up, and that's when you find your mistakes, because you can actually see through it if you've split a stitch or dropped a stitch. So this is how it's working up. On seeing it now, hindsight's 2020. I should have actually moved it over a little bit and done the majority on the left and the right, and then this color on the left a little less, so it wasn't quite dead center, but that's okay. So yeah, I've split for sleeves now, and the sleeves are being held on barber cord, or actually no, they're being held on wool. And I added in a few extra stitches because I'm doing the second to the largest size for the top, because I use my upper bust measurement when I am figuring out what size I want to make. And then I added a few extra underneath that accommodates for my bust and my belly, which I have. The back is absolutely scrumptious. Look at this. I love the back of this. It's like a zebra effect. It's so pretty. And of course, I screwed up how to do this, and I made notes on my Ravelry page. Be sure to go over and check that out. And yeah, but you know what? It still looks really pretty, so I'm going with it. Design feature, design feature, design feature. Yeah, that looks funny in the middle because it looks almost like I've made a mistake right in here, but I haven't. It's just the way the grays from the multicolor sort of blended in with the gray from the main solid color, and it sort of hit it right in the right spot, so it almost looks like it was a mistake, but up close it's not. So yeah, so that's my Shima sweater that I'm so happy with. Now it's just doing it for the body. I can't say round and round. It is done on circular needles, but it is all garter, and so it's quite interesting, the actual concept of how you make it. This is not a beginner-friendly pattern. This is for that intermediate sweater maker, someone who's feeling a little more confident about their knitting. So yeah, I really, really, really love it. Like I said, this is the second time I've made this, so I am totally happy with this pattern. I've made a few. I'm going to make another sweater. I'm going to show you another sweater that I made 2 of. If you've been with me, you know I'm working on my second Garter Marler by Stephen West. I'm using up all my sock weight scraps and bits and a few bits and minis that I was making other stuff with. Sorry, this is going to look weird because I've actually got both sleeves on one needle. I can pull it apart a little more. There we go. Last time I talked to you, I was where this stitch marker was. Oh, that's my thread or my wool working yarn. Maybe I should. Do I have a coat hanger? Let me put it on the coat hanger. That might make it easier to hold it up. There. So there we go. Now I can hold it up. Okay. So I was here. So I had done this much of the body, and now I've gone and finished it off with the exception of the I-cord border, which I'm waiting to do until I've done the button band, and then I'm going to go all the way around. The first time I did do the border separate, but then it was a completely different color for the front, and I thought I'd like to maybe make that a little more cohesive. So yeah, this is back and forth, all garter stitch, totally beautiful, squishy, 2 fingering weight sock yarns held together double, and the sleeves, I'll put them back around the front. Okay, the sleeves, I'm doing 2 at a time, 2 at the same time, I'm taking the inside and the outside of the balls together so that they are sort of the same colors, so they're going to be a little bit color managed. A little bit anyways. And yeah, I'm doing these flat because I don't like to purl. So in the round, if I was doing this in the round, oh, I dropped a stitch, so I have to put a little pin there. See, like I said, well, that's why you need to podcast, so you find the mistakes on the stuff you've been working on. I'll fix that. I will fix that next time. I'll go down. I will ladder it back down and pick it back up again with my crochet hook. So yeah, if I was doing these in the round like you're supposed to, you'd have to do 1 row knit, 1 row purl. I don't like to purl, so I just opened it up and I'm knitting back and forth, doing the decreases on each side on each sleeve at the same time, and down to the recommended finished edge, and then I will put the 1 or 2 by 2 rib on the cuffs, and I'll be done. Yeah. So yeah, that's oh, I won't be done. I have to sew it up. I'll sew up the seam under the arm. So yeah, what do you think? You like that? I think it's crazy, crazy wild colors. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's a lot darker than mine was. But yeah, the recipient, I'm sure, will be very happy. Okay, so that's the 2 sweaters, all the kind of foot socks accessories that I've been working on. When I'm done the reverse star slippers, I have been commissioned, not commissioned. I am going to knit a pair of slippers for a wonderful little young man. And yeah, they're going to be sharks, and the sharks are going to look like they're eating his feet. If I can, I'll put a picture in here of the pattern. And yeah, it's a crochet pattern though. And I'm going to try my hand at that. And if I like it, and oh, I got to tell you, this Pattern Astra, this is the last 2 balls, okay? I mean, then they're all gone. So I'm hoping that this sock pattern or this slipper pattern eats up all the rest of this wool. This I've made a pair of tall knee-high socks out of. I made a beautiful little vest for my girlfriend's nephew, or grandson. I made a really nice smoke show vest for her, and now I'm making these slippers. So yeah, I'm hoping this is all done. And this is just leftovers from Stylecraft from when I was making those chickens. By the way, go over to Diane from My Pink Bathtub's Ravelry. Check out her patterns. I mean, they are so reasonably priced, and they are so cute. She's got some freebie ones too, and the chicken and the little pigs. You should see on her Valentine visits. She was making the little pigs out of pink wool, and I think she had one was a mohair or a pack. I don't know. You have to go check it out. They are adorable, cute. So I'm gonna have to, when I get some pink wool, I'm gonna have to make some pigs for sure. I made chickens, so now I'm gonna make pigs. Okay, so last but not least, I do have one thing that I was working on that was a sewing pattern. If you watch Helen from Mosey's Makes, she is in England there. She was working on some English paper piecing, and she was going to make a book cover. So I thought, well, I can do that too. I had this beautiful piece. If you have been following me for any length of time, you know I was doing some English paper piecing in the summer. I'm not fussy on it. It's not something I think I will continue to do. It was fun while I was doing it, but then I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the big piece I made. I was going to make a pillow, and then I thought, no, and then I was going to make a table runner, and then I thought, no, it's just going to get dirty. So then when she was making a book cover, I thought, what a splendid little idea, and then I can see it every day. So what I did, I'm going to slip it off here. I just made two pieces like this. I cut it, and I just hand sewed the bias tape all the way around in this nice mint green that I had kicking around. I mean, I don't throw anything away, so. And then I sewed this piece on this side on the sewing machine because I wanted it, the part that was going to be up against the coil of the notebook, I didn't want it to rub and come apart there. And I also put on a little tab here for a pen. So my pen fits in here. It's supposed to fit in here. Get in there. Okay, it's not going to, that's fat. That's too fat a pen. Here we go. So it holds a pen. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, the inside is this material, and I actually had hand quilted it all the way around each of these little hexies. And then, of course, I put this material on, the same material on it. So it makes like a little pocket. And then it will just slides right over the front of my little book here. Now, the thing is, I made one for the front and for the back so that, to use up the material because I didn't want to waste it. Here, I'm going to try this again. Hang on. Speak among yourselves for a minute. I got to put this on. Okay, no swearing, Alice. There we go. Okay, done. Okay, so it's on the front, and there's one on the back. I love this bird. This cardinal. It's just gorgeous. Okay, so in this inside, you can put, stuff in there. Well, I do have some leftover of this bias binding tape, so I want to, it's just cotton. I want to sew it on either side, the front and the back, like so, and then I can tie it on, and then this won't fall off in case I put stuff into the pockets on the inside, and maybe if I hold it a funny way, it'll slip off. But yeah, so this is my little journal that I keep track of things. Like every month I'm keeping track, like a dot journal or whatever for each month for the mini sweaters and the socks and the memory blanket pieces and stuff. I also have like my vanilla crew sock recipe in here. I have the recipe for the mini sweaters in here and stuff, just to kind of things to keep track in. Little journal notebook. So yeah, so I got that done. That was a little hand sewing little job that I had to do. Oh, I also, Mary Maxim had a sale on there. I saw it in my inbox, came into my inbox of Patton's Croy for $4.98 a ball for Croy sock yarn, which is criminally cheap here in Canada for $4.98. And if you used a coupon, you got one got one half price. So I got to use it a couple of times. So I got a really screaming deal. It was only like a couple of dollars for two. But I got this color. These are all discontinued colors. This one is called, no idea. Yes, Route 66 is discontinued now, I guess. And this is Aurora Northern Lights or Aurora Borealis. And this one is, you guys probably already know all this. Well, this one feels like it's like half empty. That's weird. Mid-century stripes. This one's for me, pretty much. These ones will be for Walter because he's a blue guy. And I also really, really enjoy this yarn for him. It's much thicker. It is like a sport weight. It says a 1, but it's not. It's a 2. A drift. That's really pretty too. So yeah, so I got 4 worked out in the end with shipping, okay? Because I didn't buy, $200 worth of wool. So it'll work out to 4 pairs of socks for Walter. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 pairs of socks for Walter, 1 pair of socks for me for $40, including shipping. That's awesome. I like that. That's a good deal. So yeah, and it got here pretty quick. I was surprised, but yeah, that's about it. Yeah, here's my receipt. Oh, I'm sorry, all including tax. 13% tax in Ontario, so $49.30. So okay, let's round it up. So we'll round it to $50 for 4 pairs of socks. It's still a screaming deal for sock wool here in Canada. I think that's it for all of the crafting. So I'll just fill you in quickly on the make along. We're running all year long on Ravelry only. And it is for anyone who wants to knit socks, preferably adult socks, like really. We like to see some cuff if you're using a pattern. We'd love you to show off the designer's patterns if you're doing designer patterns. So yeah, so share as much as you like in the chatter thread. And the FO thread is strictly for 1 picture of 1 pair of socks at a time, please. And what else? No chatter in the FO thread. We're already into February. We'll be having a giveaway of sock wool, I believe, at the end of February. I'll be collaborating with Diane on getting that all posted, and we'll also have the next draw for the wool out of our baskets, as well as a draw for a pattern prize for the chatter thread. I can't believe how much fun it's been keeping it, going into the chatter thread on Ravelry. You guys are so supportive and so happy. Everybody's in such a good mood there. I just love it. We have over 240, 250 or so members already in the group chatting away. And I am more than happy with how this has really taken off. It's been really lovely, you guys. I'm very happy that you guys have all decided to jump on board and share all your sock journey with us. Yeah. So, and one of my subscribers actually asked, over my shoulder here is my little Magnus mouse is the pattern from Arne Carlos. And I've made quite a few of these little guys out of sock yarn. And this isn't sock yarn. This is a DK, I think, or I won't say worsted. It must be a DK. Anyways, it is made out a little bit bigger, and this is Rita, and it's the Magnus Mouse pattern by Arne Carlos, okay? She is so cute. I've made so many of these, and it comes with clothes, like you can knit. The pattern for the clothes comes with a little sweater and a little pair of overalls, pattern for an overalls. And Carlos also makes it in a non-superwash wool, and he shrinks it, and it ends up it's a big one, and then he felts it all down in the washing machine or in the dryer. It's so cute. She's got a really long tail, and this isn't Magnus, this is Rita. And this time instead of embroidering the eyes, I did put in safety eyes this time. And yeah, and I made her sweater. Check this out. My granddaughter, I gave her a bunch of DMC or Anchor embroidery floss that I'd gotten from my mother-in-law in a big bag, and it was all of this variegated coloring, these threads that were all variegated colors. So I asked her for some back because I had this mind to make one of these hexacardies for Rita. So that's what this is. This is a hexacardy. Just there's a free pattern for it on Ravelry, and I just made it with thread and with a pair of, just a smaller crochet hook, like a 2.5 millimeter crochet hook or something. And then the edges here, all the way around the edge, I single crocheted, or actually double crocheted, a couple of rows actually, of this scrubby yarn. This is scrubby stuff that you make those little scrubbies for your sink out of. And doesn't it look so bougie? It's like a bougie sweater. I love it. So yeah, so this is Rita. She's our little mascot down here. Upstairs, I have Maisie Mouse and Fiona Fox. Those are my mascots that sit with me and watch me craft upstairs. I'll show you them sometime too. They're from the Animal Friends book by, is it Nancy Crowther? Anyways, that's Magnus Mouse, and this is Rita. I didn't put whiskers on her. I could have put, but she's supposed to be, I said Rita Rat, because I thought she looked kind of more like a rat than a mouse, because she's got a long nose. And she sits down here. She sits in my basket. These baskets I made out at my daughter's farm in the beaches in North Point, Manitoba. Okay, so that's about it. I just wanted to whip on here quick and do a crafty update for you. And I will be sure to come back in a week and a bit for the end of the month / beginning of March. Yeah, and update you on who's the prize winner for the February Sox-a-long 2025. Again, the links are all below to Ravelry and what have you. And yeah, so you guys have a terrific week. Make sure you craft a lot, knit a lot, and share with others. Oh, I guess I should have told you what I'm wearing. I almost forgot. See, I don't usually wear a lot of shawls, but today I put this on. I just love this. This is made with yak and cornmeal that I had gifted to me and my hand spun. And this was Anemone by Cloud9 Fiber here in Winnipeg. It was fluff, and then I spun it. So yeah, I'm still doing my spinning. So this is just a little asymmetric shawl that I just kind of made as I went along. I was just feeling it, so I just did a shawl. Anyways, okay, check in on each other, behave, be careful, be safe. Knit with love, folks. Bye for now. Mwah. Cheers. Come on, buddy. So I noticed this morning that my little crafting corner upstairs that I sit in during the day has just become an absolute disaster and chaos, and I really need to get down to business and clean this up. Let's see what it'll look like when I'm finished.